welcome back to the Unarmored Talk podcast. I'm your host, Mario P. Fields, for you first-time listeners and viewers if you're watching this on YouTube. And if you have been a loyal fan since 2020, man, I appreciate you for my 5'2.5, that's 5'2.5" heart. Today, we have another guest willing to remove their armor to help other people gain a better understanding. We're all humans and emotions. You can't really stop them, but you can think through some of these things. Victor Cannon, he's a Marine Corps veteran. Simplify, my friend. Hoorah.
Hoorah, baby.
He is a Marine. He's a entrepreneur, a business owner. He's been a business owner for quite some time. I'm gonna let him tell you all a little bit about what he does and what he has achieved and more before we get to our guests. Again, you guys know the deal. Thank you so much. We just raised I'm going to say over $4,000, believe it or not, through all of the platforms. You guys will see, if you haven't seen it already, check out some of the social media posts on Still Serving Incorporated's LinkedIn, my LinkedIn, some of my social medias, as we just paid for some students, ninth, 10th, and 11th graders. No, 10th, 11th, and 12th graders to take their first civic trip from early college, high school in Pitt County. We paid about $3,000 for them. We made it happen with some other folks. And then we just adopted 10 seniors at Innovation Early College High School and totaling over $4K in charitable dollars. So thank you guys for listening, watching, sharing, and keep doing it, because every time you watch, listen, or share, you are helping us make a difference for the next generation of professionals in North Carolina. Done with the admin. Good stuff. Charitable stuff. Victor, my man, what is going on?
Another beautiful day in paradise, Mr. Mario P. Fields. I like that name.
Hey, I like Victor Cannon, baby. I like that. Hey, and he's out in SoCal chilling, baby. You know what I mean? And can you bless our listeners and viewers with telling them a little bit about yourself, my friend?
Well, I'm a proud husband, a happy husband, a very loving husband with a loving wife. I met my wife in high school. We've been together 40 something years. Been married 40 years. We met in high school, so I think we've been know each other 48 years. I have two children. Very proud of my children. My daughter is running the NRG Center in Texas, and my son is killing it. He wants to buy me a house. I don't want to take it, so I'm gonna take it.
Right?
So yes, and I've been in business. I'm an entertainer. I started in ministry. I was pursuing ministry for a while, and I was in Bible college, and it was a dare to go to be an entertainer. And I'm like, I don't want to do that. I want to levitate. So during that time, I was running sound for church, and I saw a need for recording studio. So staying in Bible college, the opportunity came up for me to be an entertainer, take that money and put it into the ministry as far as the sound ministry and build a recording studio for Christian artists. So when I started this, money was only needed to build something for, I guess you can say, God's kingdom, I guess, because I saw a lot of talented people in our church, and they had no way of recording what they're doing. So money was only needed to facilitate the the project. It had anything to do with anything else. So, like I told you when I first met you, I didn't start this for the money. I started for to help people who didn't have the means to pay for recording services. That's very expensive. So I found
Yeah.
out, Mario, when I pursued it, how much this stuff costs. And I
So
was like, wait a minute. I'm like, maybe I should DJ for another couple of years to see how this works out before I start recording. So it kind of spun off, and I found out that my calling was people,
yeah.
and I love people. So I was still working in corporate America, and then this came up, and I jumped on it, and I'm trying not to be as religious, but it's starting to come out of me, Mario. I've been hanging out with this men's group on Thursday mornings, and that preacher stuff starting to come out again. I've been fighting for years, but it looks like it's coming back. But
Well,
anyway,
you know the deal, man. It's probably you know, you're probably a best fit as a clergy. You know what I mean? If you're looking at probably, you know, and I've had the chance to get to talk to you, you know, it's probably in your DNA. But you know, it's funny though. You mentioned, and if I may, you mentioned the word money. And if
yes.
you guys didn't catch it, you know, he said, "Hey, I believed, I had a belief that I could do this to help people. Then I realized it was super expensive." A lot of times I've heard people say, "Don't chase the money. Like, don't do it for the money. Do it for everything but the money." I've never heard in my basic understanding, Victor, is when you chose that mindset, it was a little painful. What happened?
So I had a corporate job making really good money. So this was not for the money. It was just to help people. Well, I realized that it took more of my time than my corporate job. So I had to make a decision that I
Mm.
want to pursue this career or did I want to stay where I was and not be happy? Because when I got exposed to this world, I saw the church got bigger. So, a little backstory. I was an elder in the church, and the entertainment was not even in my peer purview. Is that the word? Yes, it wasn't. I didn't see it. It wasn't something I wanted to do. But I love music. But then I was low key saying I didn't like it. But I really do love music. I tell people I don't like music. I really do.
Well,
So
you've been doing
because
it
I
for
listened
what?
to it,
Because you've been doing it for how many years now?
this is our 30th year in business.
Yeah. Everyone,
30 years.
30 years. I think
Yes.
Victor loves it.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah. I tell you one thing about what I do, Mario, is I'm able to be a part of someone's life at a very
Mhm.
significant part in their life. And to be trusted with that, you have to take the money aspect of it and put it aside and focus on your subjects. So if you go into my world, the DJ world, just go to use DJ entertainment, and you focus on the money, you're going to miss a tremendous blessing because there's emotion and we're celebrating love. So to be a part of that is pretty big. So if
Mhm.
you go there with the wrong mindset, you'll take somebody's life and something they've been working on forever. Most women dream about that day since when they were little. And I get an opportunity to be a part of that day. So when you have that opportunity, you can focus on monetary things. You have to really focus on the task at hand. The money came, and boy, did it come for a while. And then after lockdown, it just it stopped.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is flight 165. I'm your pilot, Money, and we're flying out of here.
Yes, we flew out, and I was chasing it down the roadway. Mario, come back, come back.
Victor, would you say seatbelt signs are all beverages are being served? And all of a sudden, here comes the pandemic. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we have turbulence and no more ginger ale.
Yes, no more ginger ale, no more ice, no more cups, no more nothing, right? So I'm sitting here, but
Oh,
during that time, I was able to reflect on my career. The first time in my at that time it had to be in the 20s because only been a couple of years ago. I never had a day off. Yeah, I had days off, but I was always working. My wife's a teacher, so our life is about people.
right.
So she teaches little ones, and I entertain them after they got a diapers, and then that's when I get them. So we kind of have this thing in our all my family, my wife and my two kids, we all have people businesses.
Yeah.
So we have been blessed with the gift of patience and the love of people. So that's my wife said the other day. She says when we chill hard because we just want to be quiet and because sometimes you need that downtime. You know, I do a lot of emotion. So,
Mm-hmm.
but that's the
Yeah, yeah, and Victor, when you left that corporate job, and some folks either close to you or not, when you made the decision to go, hey, I'm going to leave this job, and I'm assuming it was paying pretty good, and you made the decision to go, I'm going to leave this corporate executive whatever job to go do this in entertainment industry. Did you have any people look at you like that is awesome, or did you have people go, what the hell are you doing?
beat. Beat, including my mom and my family. They're confused because look at I worked in the trash industry. Tra when I got in the Marine Corps, I was in motor transport, motor T. So I wanted to pick something that had longevity. So I went for trash, food, and waste, like human waste.
Right.
I figured those three things will never die. And I dropped the phone book, and the trash company popped up. It really happened. And I called the number. They told me to come down. I got hired the same day. So from that point on, I was in that. But again, it was Mario. It wasn't still like okay. I'm going off on a little tangent. I still wasn't happy.
Yeah, like you
So
weren't doing, like you said, meaningful stuff. You were making money, but like you said, Victor, we talked to you weren't going home going, man, I don't feel accomplished.
no, I mean I had a job. I had a family to take care of.
Yeah.
And it was important to me to make sure my family was well fed. And that job provided that for me and my family.
Hmm.
And we did very well as a result of that. But inside, I still wasn't content. I was content at home. But when I went to work, I did it because in the Marine Corps, you trained to take that hill and keep going,
Right.
just accomplish the mission. And I was, again, very tenacious. I got a lot of trouble because you know how the Marines are. We want it done and want it done now. And civilians didn't see it that way. So initially, it was a transition for me. Again, money was necessary, but it still didn't fulfill me. I needed something to fulfill me. And that went on for almost 20 years, dude, before I even found this and before it found me because I wasn't looking for it. And it had to be ordained by God for me to do this because this
God
was
is amazing.
not my choice.
It,
This was my choice.
what they normally say, you have your plans, and then God has His plans, and normally they don't line up.
They don't. They didn't. They didn't. But because of how I went into it, not looking for something to replace something I had, it kind of did it anyway. Because I was looking to replace my job initially. What happened? Trash got in the way because the business took off. Now, when you mentioned about the fear, I married a very smart woman. I mean, dude, I married up. My family hates when I say that, but I really did marry up. Here's the thing: she made me do a business plan, saved every penny we made from the trash company, and lived off the business for 1 year.
Wow.
So when I left, I had a little bit, not a lot, because we didn't save it all. We tried our best, because we still had two kids and a busy family. So we had a little money tucked away. So when I left, it wasn't like some people quit something and go into cold. I had an office. It took me 7 years to leave after I made the decision to leave. So again, I got a smart wife. Said, we just leave today. What are we going to have? No benefits, no this, no that, no this. So I had to put all that in place before I made the transition. I gave 3 week notice and went to work 1 day. I planned for 7 years for this moment.
Wow.
So they didn't need me
Yeah.
anymore because everything was done. When I gave notice, I was going to my office every day and I was doing Can Do. My company is Can Do Productions, by the way. That's and Can Do. My dad, who used to always tell me growing up in Chicago, I grew up in Chicago. He says, "Cannons can do. And I hated it growing up because every time he said that, that means I had to do something. That means there was a task following that statement. You want to say
So
something?
I'm looking outside. We got a good snowfall. Cold front came out of Canada, so you know cannons can do. So you need to get outside and shovel. But
You can't do snow. That's why I left Chicago. Dennis
you
can't
know
do
it.
snow.
What you know, and everyone, if you guys haven't caught it, I mean, you know, the emotions of fear. You know, the folks in your network going, "What are you doing?" And here you have Victor taking 7 years, not 1 year, not 7 months. And then the power of your lovely bride and the power of your network to not allow you to be paralyzed by your emotions and to follow your passion, you know, whatever that may be. And it may not be what you believe. You know, Victor, you are doing amazing things, and you know how I always do. I could talk to every single 120 plus guests forever, but you guys know what to do. I don't ever want to be in the way of wonderful humans that are doing great things for mankind. Looking back, Victor, looking back on what you shared with us on how you didn't chase the money, even though it was painful, but you did not chase the money. You chased the impact on people. If you could do anything different or give anyone a piece of advice, matter of fact, let me change it. If you could tell yourself, give yourself a piece of advice looking back, what would you tell yourself to do differently? If differently.
Nothing. Nothing. I tell you why. Because everything that happened, even to this day, happened for a reason. It wasn't
Hmm.
by chance. It wasn't anything I forced. And if I tried to force it, okay, here's my rule of thumb. When I run roadies or helpers, if you have to force it, it's not right. It doesn't fit. If you have to pull a cable out and you have to struggle with it, it's wrong. So anything in life, if it's a struggle, 9 times out of 10, there's a reason that this red is there. So I'm kind of I pay attention. Sometimes I miss it, but when it's I kind of like, wait a minute. Example, I went to the store yesterday and there was a guy in the parking lot. He looked shady. I have a van that has my name wrapped around it. So I said, let me try this and go to a different aisle and see where he followed my van. So I said, young me would have just parked and got off the van. Like 61-year-old me says, wait a minute. This is shady. My point is, there's flags all the time. We just have to pay attention to them.
Hmm.
I went to another store. Something told me not to go in that store, so I didn't go. So I
Yeah.
try to go through life like that and not push too hard, because when you do, it always comes back. It's like I played racquetball for many years. You hit that racquetball and you hit it into the wall, it comes back fast. And if you're not careful, it'll hit you in the face. Life's the same way. Life's the same way. You have to hit that ball hard and make sure you hit it where it's not gonna come back and hit you.
I love
So
it.
I've been running this journey like that with my lovely bride, and we're best friends. We're only two
Yeah.
friends we have in the world sometimes, and well, all the time to me, because that's they asked me, how do you stay married for 40 years and not
She's
have
a
a
she's a
fight?
she's the commanding general, and you're just a private.
And I don't want to argue with her. I don't want to call because Mario, that's my best friend.
Yeah.
If I piss her off, who would I have to talk to?
Me. No, I'm
So
just joking. I'm just joking.
and we have been talking. Sidebar. Love your work, man. I've been following Mario guys for a minute. I made my first YouTube comment to Mario P. Fields. I'm a YouTube junkie and I never made a comment. And I looked at one of your posts and I'm like, oh man, I got to say something. And when I realized I did it, I said, this is the first time I've ever made a comment on YouTube since I've been watching it.
And he
And
actually did that, everyone, by the way. So I appreciate it. But you guys heard Victor. And again, wonderful, wonderful advice. Life will happen. Every every experience is a learning experience, like Victor said. I wouldn't change a thing. I love it. I wouldn't change a thing. Every
Yeah.
experience is for a reason. And like they say, hey, if it takes, like, I'm a paraphrase a little bit, Victor, if it takes a Philip head screwdriver and you got a hammer, it might be a reason why you're struggling. But Victor, how can how can before I let you go and continue to inspire folks out in SoCal and around the world, how can people get on your website? Like, how can they find you so they can check out some of your productions, man?
My website is candodj.com. Can do, CANDODJ.com. And just check me out. I do a lot of weddings. I celebrate love for a living. That's what I do. My job, no matter if I do a backyard boogie, a corporate event, um, no matter what it is, my job is to, one, bring the thunder, and second, bring a separate atmosphere where everybody is enjoying the fun. So when I leave, it's like when I cut the music off, I want to feel like you've been on a drug for the time I've been working, and I'm just dropping you off. You're like, oh, that's how that's how much work I put into what I do. I prep for everything. If I'm just
Amen.
early for a birthday party, I'm gonna call you and say, let's do this. If you don't give me nothing, I'm gonna walk around to every person. Hello, my name is Victor. What can I play for you? Because now we're engaged.
Yeah.
Life is about making relationships and to me, loving people. And I never met a person I didn't know. My wife would tell you, I go places look for people I know. We're going to a store we've never been in. I said, somebody here I know. Or if not, I'm gonna make myself, and it's
That's what
not,
I was gonna say. That even if you don't know them, you're gonna make a friend by the time you leave.
I'm gonna make a friend because you know, you can see somebody on the street, Mario, and I can feel something. They need a hug. They don't really need a physical hug. They just need me to say, hey, how you doing? How you feeling today?
Yeah.
Or they ask me how you doing. I say, I'm feeling pretty sexy. You smile. See? And you smile. So now I get you. So now you're gonna say something back. And when we leave, you're gonna leave different. That's what I said. What I do, money came, but it wasn't for money. I wanted
Yeah.
to love God's people. I needed a venue or an avenue to do that.
To do it. Yeah.
And where I was, it was too small. It wasn't enough people for me to love because after those 200 people, okay, who's left? I saw you last week. I need somebody else to love this, you know. So God put this in my lap, Can Do Productions, and it's been a beautiful ride, dude.
Yeah.
I try to.
And I've been on the website, everybody, candodj.com, and it's just a pleasure and joy, meeting someone who just has, and I can see it, I can feel it through the virtual platform, that has a passion for helping people. I believe we have more folks like you, Victor, that had a passion for helping people through their talents and gifts. Again, the world would be a little bit better. I don't know what that means, but I'll work on it over the next year. You know what I mean? But
That's beautiful, man. You're a good dude. I love your work. I had not let you keep me off this thing, and I tell you how good you are at your work. I've been looking at
I
your
appreciate.
interview. I like your rhythm. I like everything. I didn't prep today. I usually prep for everything. I had some notes here. Look, I had
No,
notes, and I said I didn't look down at all. I said to
no,
myself, I got to say one more thing. I, I'm always nervous before an event. Anybody that knows me knows that I'm like, sometimes I throw up, I get sick.
yeah,
My wife is like, "What? You do the same thing every weekend for 30 years, and you're acting like a insert adjective every weekend, right? And what it is to me, this is a big deal to somebody. People come from all over to celebrate this couple. 80% of it relies on me. If I hit a wrong song, if I do something
right,
bad, the love turns into it turns a little different. So now I make sure that I make sure that all the I's are dotted T's are crossed. So when I fire up at any event, it's going to be flawless. My goal is to be flawless every
Mm-hmm.
time. That's pressure. That's a lot of stress, but it's worth it because at the end, I don't chase you. Again, I'm not chasing you. I go out my door, you go out your door.
Right.
You have to chase me to say thank you because to me, when I play that last song and nobody's throwing anything at me, I did a good job. No one ever threw anything at me, but so I
Yeah.
don't
Well.
need you to pat me on the
Well.
head.
Well, I will say after watching, going on your website and getting to know you and watching your productions, if someone threw anything at you, it'd probably be $100 bill, my friend. But everybody, and this is a
I like
nice
that.
venue, by the way. But everyone, thank you again, for tuning in. If you're listening or viewing, and I truly appreciate everyone. But Victor, I love talking to you, but I do not want to go to jail for stealing time from folks. So,
Yeah.
with with that said, please, and we'll talk off air. But everybody, again, Victor Cannon, check out his website. It'll be in the show notes. Again, passion for people, whatever your passion is, think through it, use your network, but follow it. Even though you may not believe that's what you really want to do, follow it. It took Victor Sepp years, and look what he's doing now, including inspiring Mario P. Fields. I'll see you guys in a couple of weeks, or you can hear me. Until then, you guys know the deal. God bless you all. God bless your friends, your family members, and anything that any living being in between. We'll see you soon. Take care, Victor.